Hey man, so before we go into this topic at all, I just want to make sure I'm speaking with the right person here. If I am speaking to the right person, you are a guy and you are having a specific struggle with your partner, whether that be girl, guy, whatever. And this struggle is that at certain points within your relationship, within your interactions, something happens. They do something, they don't do something, they say something, they don't say something, and it brings up this really difficult, uncomfortable feeling inside of you. Maybe some thoughts, some negative thoughts, and your reaction to that internal feeling is to shut down and become cold towards that person, towards your partner. And what that may look like is, not letting them touch you, giving them very short responses, just acting, feeling, looking cold, shut off, like there's a wall between you and that partner. And it could happen in like an instant as well, like literally 10 seconds before you could be lovey-dovey, happy, super affectionate, but then all of a sudden something happens, you can fill in the blanks there, and then that shift happens. Your entire mood changes. You feel upset, angry, frustrated, hurt, and then your reaction is to cut them off, to create this block between you and them. So if that is you, first of all, I just want to say I'm not judging you at all. That's not the point of this. I've been there. That was me. And second of all, I want to invite you to watch until the end of the video, because I'm going to try offer some perspective shifts that really helped me in overcoming that, and also some practical advice that could also really help you show up as a more healthy, confident, loving person that I know you are deep down inside. Maybe not even that deep. So first of all, something really important to understand is that in that moment, your mind is painting your partner as this evil person, as this like monster that is in whatever way hurt you, betrayed you, done you wrong. And immediately your perspective of this person becomes like, fuck you. Don't come near me, don't touch me, you don't deserve it, blah, 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 blah. Right? And this is something very normal unfortunately, very normal within our brain system. It's black and white thinking, basically. And it's a defense mechanism of the brain where basically we see this one situation that happened and we forget all the good about this person. And we only see them as what they are now, or what we perceive them to be because of this action that they did or didn't do. So just as my first invitation, I'd really want to invite you to, as difficult as it may be, ask yourself, are they really that evil monster? Have they really only done you wrong in the relationship? Or is this specific situation a rare occasion? And more importantly, is this situation really what your mind is telling you it is? I'll go into that in a second. But I want to invite you to remind yourself of all the good times you've had with your partner. All the times where they haven't been this evil monstrosity in your mind. Where, if I know you well enough, they've been the opposite. They've been a fucking angel. They've been a godsend. They've been like this beautiful, whatever you want to call it, that can do no wrong. That black and white, that opposite end of the pendulum swinging that your mind does, is one of the ways that it's trying to sabotage you. And if you can break through that sort of distorted perception, it's going to allow you to view them not as this evil thing that you want to create distance from, but instead as a human being who, if you have a healthy conversation with, you might gain a different perspective, a better understanding, and therefore a closeness with them. So my second point, to come back to what I was saying, is very often what can happen is our internal beliefs, past experiences, might distort or like ruin the perception we have of this moment. Now, yes, if your partner has actually cheated on you and you have evidence, or if they're actually being an asshole and you have evidence, then by all means be upset, be angry, cut them out of your life, set a boundary. That's a good thing. But if you're watching this video and you're wanting to stop being cold towards your partner, that's probably because part of you knows that you are not acting in the truest, most healthy way. That your action, your reaction doesn't match the situation completely. That there is a part of you that knows you don't have enough evidence to like know they've actually hurt you or cheated on you or betrayed you. And it's that part of you that comes up and is like, dude, you're being intense, you're overreacting. I'm not saying your feelings are invalid, but the reaction doesn't actually match the situation 100%. And this again is something very normal within our ego and mind setup or system. There's a part of you, a very deep part of you, that has actually been hurt or betrayed or let down or whatever. And that part of you, whether you're aware of it or not right now, that part of you is the part that's being activated when you see your partner do something, and that part of you is painting this monstrous picture of your partner and the situation. The problem with that is it might not actually be the case. It might not actually be true. But then when you act in that way, as if it were true, even if you don't have evidence, even if there's not enough clarity, then what happens? You shut down, you go cold. They might end up trying to fight for your like affection and attention again. They might not. Either way, you are creating a distance between you and your partner. And I know you don't like that. I know you don't like that. I know you feel shit about it. I know you feel guilty about it. Especially if it gets to the point where your partner is like crying in front of you because they don't understand why you're being so cold and distant and everything. And neither do you fully. I'm gonna see if I can wait for these dogs. Okay. And this brings me to another really important point, which is, what do you really want in that moment? What do you really want in that moment? I bet it's for her to fucking be on her hands and knees begging for your forgiveness or begging to make things right. I bet you really want the affection that you're closing yourself off to. Why? Because you want the connection with her. You want the love with her. And whatever that situation was, whether it actually happened or not, whether it was the truth or not, that threatened your connection and love with her. Or you believed it was threatening your connection and love with her. And that's what caused this like reaction in the first place. And this is where it becomes like a self-sabotage, where when you put up that wall, when you close yourself off, when you shut down, when you go cold, you are stopping the very thing that you are deep down really wanting, which is that love and connection and closeness. And this is where another deeper belief comes into play, which is there might be a part of you that doesn't believe you deserve it. That doesn't believe you deserve that reconciliation, that love and connection that she's now trying to show you. They are trying to show you. And it becomes this cycle where it's like, I'm shutting down, I'm cold, I feel guilty about it, I don't want to be that way, but at the same time, now I'm like fucking heels in, because now I'm an asshole for being that way, so now I definitely don't deserve her affection and attention, so I've got to just like stay in this. And it becomes this fucking like stalemate between yourself. And it's shit, because it leaves you feeling hurt, it leaves her feeling hurt, and it leaves both of you disconnected. So, I'm going to offer you some actionable advice, some practical steps you can take. First of all being some very important words, which is emotional and mental regulation. Calming of those emotions, that anger, that frustration, that coldness, that guilt. Give yourself like 5 to 10 minutes of just like separating from her, so that you're not acting like an asshole to her. I say that with love. Go into the bathroom, do some deep breathing. Touch, feel, look, smell, hear different things around you to pull your mind away from the thoughts. The thoughts of like, she's just hurting me and she's an asshole and like, fuck her and like, oh, I'm now such a terrible person for doing this and blah, 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 right? Create distance between yourself and those thoughts. Calm your breathing so that your nervous system can sort of relax and calm down. And to deal with the anger, go fucking punch a pillow. Go scream into a pillow, go put your hands against the wall and push it as hard as you can. Release some of that shit, that frustration, that anger, so you can tap into the deeper part of everything that's going on. And then you come back, because now you're going to be in a more calm space or state. And this may take some practice, but I'm giving you what I can in this video. And one thing I want you to tell yourself too is that she's not an evil person. They're not an evil person. There might be something else going on other than what I am thinking or believing. And this is a very important phrase I'm about to give you. Become curious. Never assume. Ask questions, and from a curious place, not an interrogation space, but like a curious space. Hey, why did you do that thing? What was going through your mind when that happened? Is there a reason you did or didn't do this? I want to understand better. That's going to help her not feel attacked. It's going to help you have a better understanding and more clarity of the situation before your reaction. And it's going to allow closeness and understanding. And then probably the most important part, which I know is going to be the most difficult part, and that's because this requires some deeper work around where these beliefs, these deeper beliefs I spoke about before, really come from, is I want to invite you to be a bit more vulnerable. Because this anger, this frustration, this going cold is because there's a part of you that doesn't want to deal with the more vulnerable feelings that are happening underneath. you feeling betrayed, you feeling hurt. Anger is not the first reaction or response to that. If you feel hurt, you feel sad. If you feel betrayed, you feel down, abandoned, whatever. But there's a part of you that doesn't want to deal with that shit, so it immediately goes into anger, frustration. You hurt me, so fuck you. But where does that lead? To disconnection, lack of closeness, and you feeling shit about yourself. So I want to invite you to tap into that vulnerability. Speak about what's really going on underneath. Hey, when you did that, that made me feel hurt. That made me feel like I can't trust you. That made me feel like you don't care about me. That made me feel unimportant. I know that might not have been what you're trying to do. Maybe these are just my thoughts and fears. Maybe I've got the wrong idea about the situation. Regardless, that's how I feel. That's what I think. I'd really like to understand better. Why did that happen? What was going on? What was going through your mind? Or maybe I'd really love to have some reassurance right now. Could you give me a hug? Could you give me a kiss? Could you let me slap your ass? Whatever it is, right? But that ability to hold yourself in that space and not let the anger, the frustration, the hurt, the deeper feelings control you. To be able to then respond with openness, confidence, clarity, and vulnerability. That is what's going to create connection, love. And please, for the love of God, allow yourself to accept the affection she's giving you. I know it's fucking hard. I know it rubs up against your pride and your ego, especially when you've dug your heels in and you're like, no. And then I feel bad because now I can't accept it because now I've been an asshole for like the past 20 minutes or whatever. Please accept the love, the connection. I know you fucking want it deep down inside. If I could go back to all the moments where I was like that, oh my God, I would soak that shit up. I wouldn't, do it in the first place. I wouldn't make her have to like fight for my fucking love and affection and attention. But if she were to like try and make it up to me and give me affection and attention, I would accept that shit. Because I missed out on so much of it because of my pride, my ego, my limiting beliefs, my fears, etc. Regulate yourself, get yourself to a calmer place before you react or respond. Shift your perspective on her in that moment. She might not be a monster like you think she is. And please come from curiosity and like healthy open communication so you can collaborate instead of fight against her. Because if you fight against her, you're not going to get the fucking love and connection that you really want. I know. Personal experience and coaching many people through that. And on that note, if you struggle with any of those important points that I suggested, that I know work, then there's probably some deeper subconscious shifting that needs to take place. We need to understand where those beliefs, those resistances, those blocks are coming from, and you need to work with them. And that's exactly what I do. So if you're interested in that, you can click on the links in my bio. You can send me an email, and we can see if my coaching would be a good fit for you. But otherwise, subscribe to the channel if you want. This is a new kind of style of video I want to try and do, and it'll give me a good indication of if I should continue these type of videos. Don't let your mind stop you from getting the love, connection, and closeness that you really want. I know it's hard, but it doesn't have to be. All it requires is you to be aware of it and to be willing to work on it. Okay. Good luck. You got this. I'll see you in the next video.